Back-to-back national championships. Few in the history of college baseball have accomplished such an amazing triumph. Hi, I'm Mike Brennan, and it's a privilege and honor on behalf of the BB&T team to congratulate Coach Ray Tanner and his team of, in the words of Michael Roth, a bunch of average Joes who love baseball and who love each other. Enjoy this look back at the best team in college baseball from BB&T, the best bank in town since 1872.
Swing, line drive, right field. It's off. Coming home is Wingo. The Gamecocks are the national champions.
In 2010, the South Carolina baseball team closed out Rosenblatt Stadium with a national championship. The 2011 team returned to Omaha and opened up TD Ameritrade Park the same way it did the previous year. As national champion in college baseball. The 2011 Gamecocks captivated the nation with their win-anyway approach and the ability to battle on the diamond. Not the biggest, nor the fastest, nor the most talented, but the best team, with the best coach, and the best fans. This is South Carolina baseball. After the cheers from the 2010 national championship faded in Columbia, the city's pride remained strong. A display at Carolina Stadium showed the team's impressive achievements against an already impressive stadium backdrop. While reminiscing about the University of South Carolina's first major NCAA championship may serve as quality conversation for fans, head coach Ray Tanner's team was working hard to start all over. As Tanner sized up his 2011 team, he was excited with the potential of the squad, but at the same time, cautiously optimistic and aware of the preseason assessment of this year's team.
I was fortunate that I had some veteran players. They had been there, they understood what they were going to go through. I never thought about getting in a position to win another national championship. What I thought about was having a good team and having an opportunity to go to the postseason.
A challenge the team faced was replacing stars from the previous team. Former stars like Blake Cooper, Whit Merrifield, and Sam Dyson were gone, along with team leaders Jay Brown and Kyle Enders. The case for catcher Brady Thomas was not quite as clear.
I was applying for an extra year. I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis my freshman year at Florida State. And after last year, I still had a year of eligibility if I could get a medical red shirt for that. They initially turned it down.
We missed him last fall, no doubt about it. We missed his leadership. We missed what he's going to do as a player. Fortunately, it all worked out for us.
I was out here one day and they were fixing to practice, and I'd got done with classes and I came up and I was running stadiums. I remember Coach Holbrook and Coach Myers, and they came out, and Coach Holbrook kind of looked at me. He's like, kind of signaled to me to come on, and I was like, oh, this either really good or really bad. And so my heart's racing, and I could feel my pulse just shooting through the sky. He's like, you ready to practice? And I was like, you're kidding me. I was like, if you're playing with me, I'm gonna kill you. And he's like, yeah, let's go. He's like, we got to stretch in 15 minutes. When I found out the news, I was ecstatic. I called my parents, and I was so blessed and so thankful to get this year back.
With their backstop in the fold, the Gamecocks rattled off 12 wins in their non-conference schedule to start the 2011 season, including a dramatic series victory over in-state rival Clemson. After splitting the two previous games, the Gamecocks and Tigers dueled off at Fluor Field in Greenville. Newcomer and Wofford transfer Jake Williams proved to be the hero as he broke the game open in the 7th.
Swing and a high drive. Way back to left field. Get up and get out of here. A 3-run blast from Jake Williams.
Despite a rally from the Tigers, Gamecock closer Matt Price ended the game with a strikeout.
This year there was a little bit of conflict in the series, and honestly, I think it was good though. It made us play with a chip on our shoulder.
It did ratchet up a little bit because of some things that were said, but it's all part of a rivalry at times, and we both moved past that, and it'll be great baseball going forward.
Competing in the Southeastern Conference is difficult every season, but this year's slate was especially loaded. Division rivals Florida and Vanderbilt were dead set to dethrone the Gamecocks and had the talent to do so. One constant from week to week was the promise of facing some of the best arms in the country. Most Fridays brought matchups against big arms and minuscule ERAs, but the Gamecocks had their own ace in the hole. Junior Michael Roth saw his role go from reliever to College World Series hero in the previous season. In 2011, he did not disappoint, serving as South Carolina's stone-throwing David, facing some of college baseball's best Goliaths.
It's special when you get to go up against somebody of that caliber, like an Alex Meyer and a Sonny Gray. Quite frankly, I don't need more motivation to go out there and give our team a chance to win, because that's what I want to do. I want to win.
I watched it unfold, and I believed in Michael Roth, and I believed in him going into the season. But I can't sit here and tell you that I thought that he would do as well as he did. I mean, he was fantastic. His numbers were incredible. An ERA of 1, 14 wins.
Roth and his teammates faced a daunting task early in SEC play. The defending conference champion and #1 ranked Florida Gators welcomed the Gamecocks to Gainesville for one of the most anticipated series of the year. Roth provided his usual heroics in the first game, but it was the Carolina Bats that stole the show as Carolina took Game 1 9-2. After dropping Game 2, a stellar performance out of the bullpen from sophomore righty Colby Holmes and veteran setup man John Taylor put South Carolina in position to clinch the series. A rare bases-loaded walk gave the Gamecocks a 4-3 lead in the 8th, which was all closer Matt Price needed.
You know, we never put him in a comfortable environment. It's always with the game on the line, and more often than not, in 2 years, he was successful.
You just got to be mentally prepared for that, and like coming in closed situations, pressure's on. You just got to be able to hit your spots, locate, and take over the game.
And that was the first time the entire year where I said to myself, this team's got some good things happening. We can win some games in the most difficult environment with the competitors that we've got and some guys that have been able to perform.
Roth, Taylor, and Price were huge as Carolina swept consecutive series against Kentucky and Tennessee. The Gamecocks took that momentum into yet another series against a nationally top-ranked opponent, the Vanderbilt Commodores. The Commodores sent their ace, Sonny Gray, in Game 1. Like Roth, Gray held a 7-1 record and was equally adept at keeping hitters at bay. A Carolina run in the 3rd inning gave Roth all the support he needed, as the lefty kept the #1 Commodores in check, allowing just 3 hits.
Chest high, and he strokes one into center. Jackie coming on. Does he make the catch on the shoestrings? He does.
The Gamecocks recorded insurance runs in the 4th and 7th, chasing Gray from the game with 11 hits and his 2nd loss of the season.
Flies one down the left field line. Could be trouble for Kemp. He's up against the track and the wall, and it is gone.
Motivated to claim the series the hard way, Vanderbilt put up 6 runs on Holmes in Game 2, setting up a Sunday rubber match at Carolina Stadium. A national television audience and a packed Carolina Stadium witnessed Game 3, and both heavyweights would not disappoint. Facing a 3-1 deficit in the 7th inning, the Gamecocks rallied to the tune of 4 runs. With the lead and the crowd sensing a victory at hand, Tanner went with Price to close out the Commodores. 7 strikeouts later, the Gamecocks gave the home crowd something to cheer about.
Payoff pitch. Curveball cut on. Strike 3 call.
The fans were awesome. They went nuts about every game. And I remember Coach after the Sunday game we beat them. He just told us, look, take your hats off and thank the fans, because he was right. They definitely helped us win some games that weekend.
In the series at Mississippi State, bad luck dealt the Gamecocks a blow. Center fielder Jackie Bradley Jr. injured his left wrist while attempting a catch, and Bradley would not see the field again during the regular season. Add in the recurring hamstring injury to fellow outfielder Adam Matthews, and the Gamecock season seemed to be heading into treacherous times.
Yeah, it was a bad situation, but at the same time, we kind of took a step back and we were like, okay, what could possibly else happen?
Obviously, it's not fun. It was borderline laughable. I mean, we couldn't believe it, and okay, we lost a couple outfielders, a couple key guys, but hey, we're going to have to step it up, and it was a tough league. You can't fall behind like that.
With everyone working to patch the holes in the lineup,
I don't know if I got enough soldiers, but we're going to try.
some players were forced to go above and beyond the regular Call of Duty. Left-handed pitcher Stephen Neff moved to the outfield for the first time in his Gamecock career.
Don't think too much. Okay, Stinson, great bat speed. Take some hacks. Good pitches. Come on.
And hit 5 home runs in his limited duty.
The high fly into right. This one still carrying. Benson is up at the track, at the wall, leaps, and it is gone.
While taking on a second position was big news for Neff, it was just another day at the office for senior utility Robert Berry.
Growing up, my mom always told me, play. You can play any sport you want and play all the positions you want. She believed that was a, good way to be a all-rounded athlete and get you to college, and it ended up working out for me.
He would ask me sometimes before batting practice, where am I going to play today? And many times I'd say, I'm not sure yet. I haven't made out a lineup, but you're going to play, just be ready. Very few players can do that. Very few players can go from one position to the other and perform like he did.
The outfield seemed to be in constant flux, but the infield proved to be the backbone of the 2011 Gamecocks. Led by senior second baseman Scott Wingo, the experienced group of infielders finished the year 3rd nationally in double plays. Veteran leadership from Wingo and Peter Mooney in the middle, coupled with the efforts of first baseman Christian Walker and third baseman Adrian Morales, gave the Gamecocks a steady presence during the dog days of the conference season.
There was so much talent in that infield with Wingo. He's made some plays that I've never seen made before, and him and Mooney combined have made plays that I've never seen before. He's got unbelievable range. He's got a strong arm from the hole. I don't know how many plays Morales had saved us with if we had runners on second and third, he'd make a dive and stop down the line and throw across to first for the out, and maybe Walker would have to pick it or something on the other side. Walker's just, his defense this year was just, I felt like he just solidified his game, and I just felt our infield was rock solid. I don't know if there was a better infield in the country.
Being a standout with the glove isn't something new for Wingo, but his offensive shortcomings prevented him from being a complete player. After years of hitting 9th in the order and seeing recruits push him for playing time, Wingo put together his best season as a Gamecock hitter.
He performed at a higher level than he ever has before because he was determined that he was going to be an offensive guy, and he ended up being that.
An uncanny knack for coming through in the clutch became one of the seniors' trademarks. Wingo's big moment dramatics were never more apparent than in Game 2 of a series victory over Arkansas.
1-1 pitch, lifted to deep right center field. Going back on it is McKinney to the wall. It's gone! Scott Wingo delivers. The captain, a walk-off home run here in the bottom of the 9th, and the Gamecocks win it.
I feel like in those situations, I was confident in myself I was going to do something there, because I think the past experiences helped me out, maybe failing, and then when I got it done this year, and whenever those situations came, I was really calm, and I think that helped me out too.
Despite the injuries and brutal competition, Coach Tanner's bunch continued to win, clinching a share of the SEC championship with a series win against Alabama. When the smoke clears, South Carolina, Florida, and Vanderbilt all stood atop the SEC pinnacle.
When you really understand the adversity had been with us for a long, long time, but at the end of the day, we still were able to come out at least in a share of the SEC regular season championship.
It would not be the last time those three would stand as the top teams in college baseball. With a renewed vigor and armed with a number 4 national seed, the Gamecocks set to host the NCAA Regionals at Carolina Stadium.
We saw our projected field, and we were like, all right, it's going to be tough, but it's doable. We've faced, SEC teams all year, and, if we can beat them, we can beat anybody. And we knew it was going to be tough. We had a work cut out for us.
Carolina first faced off against Southern Conference champion Georgia Southern. The Eagles came into the regional in Columbia among the hottest teams in college baseball and with no fear for their hosts. Roth and Eagles ace Andy Moyer worked deep into the game, showing fans a world-class pitcher's duel.
They had a guy hitting almost 400, had a guy hitting 30 bombs, and then two good pitchers because, that Moye wasn't even their number one, he was their number two. And, so that was a tough start.
I remember for the last couple years, every time we played Georgia Southern, it's a one-run game. And, whether we're here, there, midweek, whenever. And we knew it was going to be a good game. We knew it was going to be a close game.
Adrian Morales' RBI single in the 6th inning gave Carolina a 2-1 lead. That was all the Gamecock bullpen needed, as John Taylor and Matt Price closed the game, giving Moye a rare complete game loss. South Carolina's bats came alive against Stetson on day 2. With bases loaded in the 3rd inning, Robert Berry electrified the crowd with a blast to left field.
Now the 2-0. Swing and a high drive deep to left. Get up and get out of here. A grand slam for Robert Berry.
And I knew, he's going to throw a fastball, and if he throws on it, just put a good swing on it. And he threw me probably a belt high fastball and put a good swing on it. And it felt good right off the bat, and I knew it. And it was a great feeling, exciting feeling when you got all those fans there and you get to hit a grand slam your senior year.
South Carolina moved within one victory of the Super Regionals as Carolina claimed an 11-5 win over the Hatters. After finishing off North Carolina State in the losers bracket, Stetson would be the Gamecocks' opponent in the regional championship on Sunday night. With storms looming, Gamecock freshman Forrest Kumas held Stetson to 1 run through 4 innings of work. Carolina built a 4-1 lead going into the 5th before a powerful storm suspended play for the evening.
We turned on the TV, I guess, which was connected to the camera in the press box, and we could see the field, at least a picture of the field. It was as soon as we started watching, we saw the rain, and everyone was pretty awestruck by it. And then I guess one big gust of wind came in and pulled the tarp off, and everything went black.
The entire university, the athletic department, our grounds crew, the police department at USC, everybody, SCE&G, everybody made it work, and they did it in such a quick turnaround that when we resumed play the next day, it was like nothing happened the night before. It really was incredible. I understand how much went into it. I saw some damage later that night and real early the next morning, and they turned it around in a big way, first-class manner.
Play resumed the following day, and Carolina put an exclamation point on the game by adding 4 more runs in the top of the 9th inning. Price earned his 17th save of the season as the Gamecocks advanced to the Super Regionals. Berry was named the regional's most valuable player and was joined by Roth, Morales, Wingo, Christian Walker, and Evan Marzilli on the all-tournament team. Once the Gamecocks clinched their slot as Super Regional host, all eyes in Columbia turned up the road to the Clemson Regional. The Tigers and Connecticut Huskies battled for the right to face Carolina in the next round, while most in Columbia anticipated another series versus the rival Tigers. UConn emerged from the Upstate Regional.
We knew when they were coming to town that it wasn't going to be easy at all, and we knew it started with that Matt Barnes, and we knew their center fielder was going to be the real deal.
They were a great team. They had some great players on that team. One of my better friends from high school played on that team, one of our shortstop. And it was awesome to play them because I know a bunch of people that go to school there.
I thought UConn probably was as good as anybody we played the entire year with Barnes, their first rounder out there, and Springer, their outfielder, second round shortstop. They had so many good players that you knew you had to be at your best if you were going to win.
The Big East champs posted gaudy numbers against Clemson and sent top pitcher and first round MLB draft pick Matt Barnes to the hill to face off against Roth.
We knew they were a great team. I think they had 3 first-rounders or 2 in a supplemental. But again, if we went out there and did our job, we would take care of business.
The fact that they had 3 first-rounders, they had Barnes, Springer, and their shortstop, and we knew we had to win every pitch, win every at-bat.
Carolina proved, as they did time and time again, that no arm was greater than Roth's, as they knocked Barnes from the game in the 5th with a flurry of runs. By then, the game was out of reach for UConn as South Carolina claimed a 5-1 victory.
And Carolina is now 1 win away from a trip to the College World Series, riding that left arm of Michael Roth again.
Runs did not come easy in Game 2, at least not early on. Carolina faced a 2-0 deficit going into the fourth inning when Brady Thomas laced a double to left center. Jake Williams drove him in 2 batters later to start off the Gamecock comeback.
Napo fires. There's a line drive down the right field line. It's fair. Going into the corner. Easily scoring Brady Thomas. It's going to be a stand-up double in the clutch for Jake Williams.
Barry tied the game in the 6th with an RBI single, setting the stage for last year's Super Regional hero Christian Walker to again give the Gamecocks the lead.
Here's the 1-0. Swing and a blast deep into left. Going back the left fielder and the wall. It's gone. For the first time since April 26th, Christian Walker has the home run. Is it Coastal all over again? Carolina leads it 3-2.
Coach Tanner, he always surprised me with the stuff he does. And I remember last year at Coastal, he brought me, Jackie, and Adrian aside and told Jackie he had to get on so Adrian could hit his double so I could hit my 3-run home run. And I mean, I don't know how he does it, but it happened in Coastal. And then before this at bat, he pulled me over, told me he was going to try to sneak a changeup by me. Told me to open my hips and, yank it over the left field fence. And he did it again.
He and I talked before he went up there, and I said, get something off speed, try to turn on it. And I think he hit a changeup down and in, hit it really hard and gave us the lead. So he's been a big-time performer in his 2 years here.
He hit that home run, and I was on deck, and I was just like, God, this kid is unreal. I mean, he's got to be one of the best hitters in the country, and he's just been so clutch for us.
Carolina buried the Huskies in runs with an explosive 5-run 9th inning.
Here it comes from Vance. Swing and a drive into right center field. Nobody's going to run this down. It'll bounce for a base hit. 1 run comes home. Morales hustling around. He'll score as well. The double by Peter Mooney, and Carolina's broken it open in the 9th. It's now 7-2 Gamecocks. Vance into his glove and pumps the 2-2. Curveball swung on, grounded to third. It's bobbled by the third baseman. He'll have to unload to first. Didn't have a play at home as Williams got a great break home. He touches home, and it's now 8-2.
With a now commanding lead and the most dominant closer in the game on the mound, all that was left to do in Carolina Stadium was celebrate.
The stretch from Price and the pitch. Swing and a miss. That's it. That'll do it. And Omaha, Nebraska make way for the champs.
That is a great feeling, man, to be able to dogpile in front of your fans, and it was really a lot of fun.
That Super Regional atmosphere was amazing, and the crowd really did help us because I can't imagine Connecticut plays in front of a group like that, especially as rowdy as our crowd was.
Just knowing that we had the chance, we had the chance to go to Omaha and do it again. It was, it felt like it all came together, and it was a great feeling for us.
Finally, after clinching the Super Regional, it was like we get to go open up the new stadium. Fantastic. I mean, what a wonderful opportunity for our program and the university and these players that you get a chance to go not only to the World Series 2 years in a row, but you close out the Rosenblatt, the legendary stadium, and then you get to open up TD Ameritrade. So special, and that was really the thought process at that point.
Let's get on the whole 3, boys. 1, 2, 3.
The Gamecocks became Omaha's adopted team last season, with gritty play and memories of the final game at Rosenblatt Stadium. It was no surprise that the Midwest town welcomed the Gamecocks with open arms upon their return. What was surprising was the familiar face that greeted Carolina in Omaha.
We were on the way from our hotel to the field, and we saw a billboard with Roth on there from last year.
The first time I found out about the billboards, I was on Twitter. Someone tweeted a picture at me about me being on the billboards. So I was like, well, this isn't going to be good. So I kind of kept it quiet.
History happens here, and then Michael Roth is on the billboard all over Omaha, so it was kind of funny. He gives out a lot of ribbing. He deserves to get a little bit every once in a while.
But you say billboard, but there must have been 15 billboards out there with him on it, all down the interstate. And
I heard got so much crap for being on the billboard, and especially when we rolled up to TD Ameritrade and I was on the side.
There's a huge banner of Michael Roth, the same picture that's on the billboard, and we were just like, you gotta be kidding me.
The billboards weren't the only recognizable faces in Omaha. Division rivals Vanderbilt and Florida both punched tickets to Nebraska, giving the SEC a commanding presence in the College World Series. Carolina was determined to avoid the losers bracket in 2011 after playing much of the 2010 College World Series with their backs against the wall. With Roth again heading to the mound in Game 1, the odds seemed good that they could do just that.
From the stretch, he fires, swung out on a blast down the right field line. Long run Marzilli, it'll bounce fair in the corner and could clear the bases. 1 run is in, 2 runs are home. Relay fired, it squirts through Wingo's legs. It'll score 2, make it all 3. And Texas A&M is on top 4-0 on the RBI triple by Brandon Wood.
You know, 4-0 in the first inning. You know, here we go.
The first thing I said when I got into the dugout was, "It's the first inning, boys. We're fine. Let's go to work."
When they got 4, only thing we did was just kind of got a little pissed off and just said, "All right, now let's go score."
1-1 pitch. Bouncing ball up the middle. It'll be gobbled up by the second baseman, Palazzo. High throw, and it sails over the first baseman. Coming home is Walker. He's in sliding. 2 runs come home. It's 4-3 Texas A&M. Ramos at third, the wind up and the 1-2. Bouncing ball deep in the hole towards right. Knocked down by Colazzo. Late throw to first. Mooney beats it out. Morales scores, and we are tied.
And I went up to Mike and I punched him in the chest when we scored the 4 runs, and I told him, "No more runs."
So I said, "I promise." And, you know, after the game, he was like, "Hey, thanks for keeping your promise."
The game would remain tied at 4 until the bottom of the 9th. Barry started off with a double to right field, giving Carolina the potential winning run just 180 feet from home plate.
It'll roll in front of the right fielder, Naquin. Barry will skid to a stop at second base. A leadoff double off the top of the right field wall by Robert Barry.
With the bases loaded, who else but Scott Wingo walked to the plate?
But I had no doubt about it. Scott was going to come through. He's been huge for us this year.
Coach told me to be patient. I told him, "Coach, if it's in there, though, I'm gonna drive it somewhere." He said, "All right, that's fine, but be patient." I choked up on that bat, and whatever he was throwing me, if it was anywhere near, I was taking a hack at it.
Fires the 1-2. Line drive down the right field line. This one could go. It's up at the wall and off the top of the wall. Walk off for Scott Wingo. Robert Barry touches home. He does it again. And Carolina takes its first game at the College World Series 5-4.
It was fitting, you know, that if you're going to win a game, you do it with your senior second baseman, who's a guy that's been in the program a long time, and it was great to see.
The win put Carolina in the driver's seat, but yet another national #1 lay ahead.
Well, Virginia was outstanding. They were loaded. Look at their record, look at their performance, what they did in the regular season in the ACC tournament. And coming to Omaha, they really were the team to beat. Now, there's 8 teams and everybody's pretty good, but Virginia was the team to beat.
Playing #1 teams, like I really don't think our team is phased that much. We just go out there and play baseball.
I think this team thrived on playing teams like that and playing kids that are well known and, you know, with the scouts, and, you know, just gave up, you know, some money to go to college. You know, I think that kind of motivates us. Like, all right, you know, put your guys out there.
Roberts gets his sign and deals. Curveball swung on, long fly into center field, going back to Schwab, reaching up over his head, looks up, it's off the top of the wall. It'll score Morales from third, and it's 3-0 Carolina.
The 3 early runs set the tone for the game as Carolina wiped the floor with the Cavaliers, winning 7-1. Wingo again wowed the crowd, this time with his leather.
Wingo with his glove, behind the bag, flipping it to Mooney.
The Gamecocks needed one more victory to advance to their second straight College World Series final. Virginia sent their ace, Danny Hultzen, the second overall pick in the 2011 MLB draft. As they have all year, the Gamecocks countered with Michael Roth.
Roth is a guy that understands what he can do, what he's capable of physically, and when he says, "I'm ready to take the ball," that's all you have to understand if a player's been in your program long enough.
I'd stick Roth against any pitcher out there, even in the major leagues, and he's still going to, you know, battle.
You know, I was just going out there, and not that I was like trying to match Hultzen or anything, I was just trying to go out there and put up zeros on the board.
Virginia struck first with a run in the second inning.
They got the double play. but Foch is in from third, and Virginia's on the board 1-0.
An illness forced Hultzen out of the game early, and Carolina wasted no time getting to his replacement.
He is going to be dropped by the left fielder who cuts in front of him. He drops the ball. The Gamecocks are going to score 2 runs. They got him at second and third.
2 rare errors by the Carolina defense allowed Virginia to tie the game in the 8th. When the Gamecocks failed to score in the 9th, Ray Tanner decided to let his closer continue to pitch into extra innings.
I've seen him pitch extended before, but not as much as he did that game. I've seen him go 2-3 innings and be really good, but we stretched him out a little bit.
We had all the confidence in the world in Matty to, as long as we needed to go, we felt like he had it. I mean, you can't really ask for more of a perfect situation to be in.
With the bases loaded in the 10th, Price ended the threat with a game-saving strikeout.
Cold-blooded.
The innings continued as Price's pitch count grew, but the closer showed no signs of tiring.
I knew my emotions were going a little haywire, but it's kind of what you expect when you get out of a jam like that. And I just needed to keep our team in a chance to win and do that any way possible.
Things looked dire for the Cocks in the top of the 12th inning as Virginia loaded the bases.
Bouncing ball towards Mooney. Shovels to Wingo for 1. Turn and throw. Double play.
The drama continued as the Cavaliers again loaded the bases in the 13th.
I keep seeing once I get a person on base, I'll see the pin go. I'm like, that ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna stay in this game so we get a team a chance to win. And that's what it ended up doing.
Price sent to deal. Slings it in. Swing and a line drive right to Wingo. Flips to Mooney at second. Double play. And they catch Harrington off the bag at second.
Matt Price had now thrown 95 pitches over 5 2/3 innings, and the Carolina hitters showed that their closer's effort would not be in vain.
Lined into center field. It'll drop in front of the center fielder, Shiflett, for a base hit.
Speedster Adam Matthews came in to pinch run for Thomas, giving the Gamecocks a serious threat to score. With the game stretching, some well-placed bunts forced the tired Virginia defense into some uncharacteristic mistakes.
And when you're trying to defend a guy that runs, you put more pressure on yourself. You have to be able to make a play. You have to speed it up a little bit. And when you do speed up, sometimes you're not as comfortable and you make mistakes. That's where our good fortune came in. He was running. They made a couple of miscues throwing the ball. We were able to score the winning run that way.
Barry bunting, guides 1 third baseline. Winarski grabs, fires to third, gets away. Matthews coming home. He's going to touch home. And we will see you in the championship game.
Once I saw the third baseman jump up and take off, or kind of turn that way, and I looked at Holbrook in the dugout, and they're all freaking out. I'm like, I better go home.
Yeah, finally it's over. It was just such a long game, and it just felt like a marathon.
After 13 hard-fought innings, the Gamecocks returned to the College World Series Finals. Their opponent was a recognizable one, as SEC rival Florida had advanced past Vanderbilt and into the finals earlier that day. The extra inning game proved costly for the Gamecocks. With only 2 days rest, it was unlikely that Roth and Price would be available for Game 1 of the finals. Even more distressing was news that first baseman Christian Walker had fractured his hamate bone in the final at bat against the Cavaliers.
I mean, I didn't really think anything of it at the time. I just thought it was another injury. I'll ice it tonight and be back tomorrow. And we found out later that it was fractured. At the time I was thinking, wow, this could be the worst timing in the world. We play all year. We work our butts off all year to get to this point, and I'm gonna get hurt. The game before the championship series.
I knew that he had hurt himself a little bit. I didn't know the severity of it. I hope it was just a sprained wrist, and maybe he got 2 days that you're able to get him back. But after looking at it and seeing our trainers and Brainerd Cooper and told us it looked like a hamate. We've had a few hamates over the years. A lot of teams in baseball deal with hamates, and I said, well, he's not gonna be able to play.
I remember him walking in the bus, somebody asking him, are you going to play tomorrow? And I'm walking in front of him, I go, he better play.
There was nothing on the x-ray. We took a CT scan. They confirmed a fracture in the hamate. And at that point, it was just a matter of could I deal with it and play.
When you injure yourself, you have a fracture of the hamate bone. You're not going to make it any worse. It's already broken, so you're just hoping you can withstand the pain.
So it's just a matter of just dealing with it and playing with it. And they helped me out with everything they did. And I can't thank them enough, or the whole medical staff. And I definitely wouldn't have been able to play without them.
But it just seemed like, here he is in the middle of the action. He's a guy that's got wrapped up. He's got a pain tolerance that you can't believe right now, and he's able to perform for us.
He's a great player. He'll be a high draft pick, but it says what type of guy he is and what type of teammate he is.
To have Walker back was just was a big lift to our team, and for Walker to go do that is just, he's a tough dude to go do that.
With Walker in the lineup, the Gamecocks' next challenge was naming a starting pitcher for Game 1. True freshman Forrest Kumas earned the start. The rookie held his own against the powerful bats in Florida's lineup. The Gators mustered a run in the bottom of the third inning to grab the lead, but Kumas and the Gamecock relief corps kept the Gators in check time and time again.
For a true freshman to go out there and give us what he gave us on that stage in a national championship environment was incredible. Certainly something that he's going to remember for a long time. He did a good job of putting our team in a position to win a national championship.
A one-run lead stood firm until the 8th, when Peter Mooney led the inning off with a walk.
Bouncing ball up the middle, it'll get through for a base hit. RBI, Scott Wingo, and we are tied.
With the game tied going into the bottom of the 9th, Carolina made the call to bring in veteran reliever John Taylor.
I feel like when JT comes in, I feel like my confidence for us in the field just goes through the roof. I feel like he's got a ton of confidence on the mound. Our infield has a ton of confidence when he's on the mound, and you can feel it.
He was one of the rocks in the bullpen for us, and they were able to hold it down, and every time he got in there, you have the feeling you have when Price goes in. You have complete confidence in JT that he's going to go out there and get a strikeout, get a couple ground balls, and do his job.
Taylor found himself in a tight spot, with Florida loading the bases and nobody out.
The 0-2. Bouncer towards Wingo. Dime stops it, throws to home. Barry on the short hop. Makes the glove. Unbelievable.
Scotty made an unbelievable diving play with a backhand and gets up and fires it. And I've seen that kid do that hundreds of times in 2 years. Out of reaction, I acted like a first baseman because I had to keep my foot on the bag. I knew that. And, people say, how do you do that? How'd you do that? And with a catcher's mitt, I don't know. Yeah, that's the beauty of the game. It can either go one way or the other. It's a 50-50 shot. You just got to do what you can to make the play.
The miraculous play still left the Gators with only one out.
Liner right to Wingo, to home for one. They will snap a throw to first. Double play! Are you kidding me? The escape artist again. Bases loaded. Nobody out. And no runs for the Gators.
Taylor continued into the 10th inning and again found trouble. A leadoff single quickly turned into the potential winning run as Florida third baseman Cody Dent moved to second base on a sac bunt. Anxious to match the infielder's flair for game-saving plays, left fielder Jake Williams prepared for the next batter.
Taylor fires in. Line shot into left field, base hit, charging out it is Williams. They're going to round him home. Here's the throw home. Barry there, lays the tag. Got him! On line, on target. Barry a couple of steps in front of home. Gunning down Dent, and we play on in Omaha.
After that, I knew somebody wanted us to win this game.
Jake's a very good outfielder and a very good player. He's not blessed with a tremendous throwing arm, but that ball went through the 6-0 and Zunino hit it kind of hard. Jake did a tremendous job coming to get it. I was hoping he'd come up and throw a strike to the plate, and I was thinking one hop. He throws the ball in the air, Barry grabs it, makes a great tag, and we continue to play.
Right when I saw the throw, it looked pretty good, and then dang, right when Barry caught it, tagged him out, we went nuts. Everybody went nuts. Adrian gave the fist pump. I did too. We started acting like a bunch of idiots. We just went nuts, so it was awesome.
The Gamecocks lived to fight another inning, but the heart of their lineup leading off the 11th.
Fires. Shot up the middle, base hit. Walker going with the pitch. Morandi, one pass fastball, too many. One out base hit for Christian Walker, his second of the night.
Coach Tanner said, we're going no signs right here. We're going to go hit and run. So like, all right, and we got out there. Couldn't have been a more perfect pitch to hit and run on, and I just swing straight through it.
Throw by Zunino is high, and it sails into center field. Coming for third is Walker. Here comes the throw, the slide, and that gets away. It hops over the railing. Walker will trot home, and we are ahead 2-1. Gamecocks in front.
I guess I'd say I was glad I was hitting, but I didn't really do my job, but it worked out.
We were creating some action. Could have gone against us, but we were trying to win the game instead of being conservative. We were trying to force the action a little bit, and it went our way.
As the inning closed, Carolina turned to their All-American closer to again finish the game.
I knew as soon as we got that lead late in that inning, I knew I was going in. I was like, coaches called down. They didn't even call down. I told them I was going in. So I kind of took the ball and went with it.
There were no highlight reel plays needed in the bottom of the 11th as the Gamecocks closed Game 1 of the finals 2-1.
We won the first one, and you don't have to play with your backs against the wall. We had the chance to go win it. There was no pressure on us. It was all on them. We were loose, we were relaxed, and we were having fun playing the game like we do every day.
I felt fine. I really did. The thing was, Coach Trainer came up to me. He was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "I'm not going to feel any better Wednesday than I will Tuesday. So I should throw Tuesday."
With Roth rested and ready, the Gamecocks quickly amassed a 3-run lead in the third inning.
2 balls, 1 strike. Here it comes. Swung on, a high bouncer towards the shortstop, and it's off his glove and into shallow center field. Rolling in. Marzilli scores. It's 2-0. Fontana tried to pick it on the short hop, and it deflects off the heel of his glove.
Florida's Mike Zunino took Roth deep for the first home run of the finals, but that run would soon be countered.
There's a drive towards right field. Going back is the right fielder. A home run for Peter Mooney, the first one of the College World Series for the Gamecocks.
Tanner told me when I got back in the dugout after I hit it that I was about to give you the take sign. And I was like, well, thank you, Coach, for not giving me the take sign.
That, even though it was only 1 run, that was a big blow for us. It got us in a better position to win that game.
Florida answered 2 innings later, sending an exhausted but victorious Michael Roth to the dugout. The Omaha faithful honored the junior for his efforts with a standing ovation.
It was impressive, and to get honored by 26,000 people like he did. They understand what he's been able to do in Omaha on the biggest stage of all for college baseball, and he's done it with class. He's done it with a lot of dignity. He's appreciated the experience in Omaha. He's had fun with it, and I think he was applauded because of all that.
When I came off in the national championship game with a standing ovation, I can't get much better than that.
Tanner again chose Taylor to relieve Roth. The jog from the bullpen marked Taylor's 50th appearance in 2011, 1 game shy of an NCAA record.
Certainly his teammates respected him, and we know as a coaching staff how much he did for us, but to go out there 50 times and have the statistics that he had was incredible for our program.
A final insurance run in the 8th gave Carolina a 5-2 lead heading into the final frame.
In the dugout, I remember looking at somebody and I was like, are we up by 3 in the last inning? Because we're so used to, 1 or 2 run games. And when Price came in, you don't ever want to jinx yourself in baseball. We're so superstitious, but I think we all just knew the game was over.
3 days after throwing 95 pitches and a day removed from his last appearance, Matt Price again mustered the strength to close the game.
Price is 1-0. Swung on a drive into left center field. Jackie's underneath it. Sets his feet. Makes the catch. They've done it again. Back to back for the Garnet and Black. The Gamecocks repeat as College World Series champions.
As the confetti fell and the championship T-shirts were donned, the exhausted Gamecocks finally caught their collective breath.
You realize when you're out there and you're putting on the championship T-shirt and you're putting on the hat that this is it. This is the pinnacle. It doesn't get any better than this. This is special, and it's great. Regardless of Rosenblatt or TD Ameritrade, it was very, very special.
Yeah, last year was pretty special, but it wasn't no fluke. We just did it again.
To shut down Rosenblatt and, you know, being a kid and watching that place and the history behind it was unbelievable, but to open up the new place was an incredible feeling in itself too.
There's only going to be 37 guys that could say that in the world. I played one, closed down Rosenblatt, and opened up TD Ameritrade. So that's pretty special.
When I look back on this season, I'm not going to look back and remember every start I had or, you know, every pitch I made. You know, I'll remember games here and there. But what I'm going to remember is the stupid stuff that goes on in the clubhouse, the crazy screaming and yelling that we do on the bus, the times that I've had with these guys on the team off the field, more so than on the field. We've been able to do something special here by repeating and being back-to-back champions, and that's something special we've done on the field, and I'll always remember that. I'm going to remember more the times that I've had with these guys off the field. And, you know, I think that's what's special to me. I think that's what's most important to a lot of these guys.
These guys are just like you imagine they would be. They compete, they play hard, they're serious, they love to win, and they have a great time. They respect baseball. They understand you're going to have some adversity. We had our share of adversity this year, but so many guys stepped up. Together, everyone accomplishes more. The most important thing about this team every day was they wanted to win. Above all else, they wanted to win. You've always been national champion fans. You deserve to be back-to-back. You're the greatest. Thank you.
As the years will pass, the tales of on-field heroism will almost surely be exaggerated. The hits will seem harder, the strikes faster, the wins sweeter. Young men will be elevated to legendary heights in the minds of those lucky enough to have witnessed their feats. Coaches will seem more like stoic generals, plotting victory on the field of battle. In reality, this story needs no hyperbole. This story tells of a team that battled expectations, battled injuries, battled the most talented teams in all of baseball, and above all, battled together. This is the story of the 2011 National Champion South Carolina Gamecocks.